Happy arbitrary day of the week to you, and welcome to another episode of a geography show. We're going to begin by playing the random place generator game and learn something about that place. Go on this journey with me. Alright, it's Romania, and the name of the place is called Geoguessr. Okay, Geoguessr is a region in northeastern Romania, and the county area is situated around a beautiful gorge called the Geoguessr Gorge that separates Moldavia from what was known as Transylvania. So Transylvania is obviously famous in literature in the story Dracula by Bram Stoker, who curiously was an Irishman who not once visited Romania. Anyway, this is the castle that had an uncanny resemblance to the one portrayed in Dracula by Bram Stoker. Here it is. So this castle actually belonged to Queen Marie, who was the last queen of Romania, who was also the granddaughter of Victoria. So back to Geoguessr Gorge in Geoguessr. It's a stunning little drive between these sheer limestone cliffs. It's noted for being the nicest drive in Romania and one of the nicest drives in Europe as well. So that's... what the fuck was that? Oh my god. Don't look. This is the river that runs along it. Interestingly and coincidentally, this region suffered a massive earthquake in the 1830s, I think. And that earthquake triggered a landslide, and that landslide formed a lake. Is this sounding familiar? If you watch all my episodes, then will be. And that lake is here. So this is Red Lake. So it also has the name Killer Lake because when the landslide was triggered, it unfortunately buried an entire village of people, and it was said that the blood from the victims turned this water deposit red. Interestingly, like the other lake I showed you in a previous video, because of the high altitude, I think this one is perhaps 1,000 meters above sea level, and the temperature, it's about 1 degree in Romania right now for context, and also the soil in the area. All of those things contribute to something strange happening to the trees in the water. In an article I read, they described them as being petrified, which is an interesting word. I don't think they actually mean petrified. I think it's a mistake. The petrification of wood means a complete mineral replacement, and these are just preserved underwater. They're still wooden trees after all. These are the stumps here. Some of them have trees growing out of the top, so definitely not petrified. This is petrified wood, and this is a really nice petrified wood fossil site. This is in Madagascar. So this is a petrified log here. This process takes millions and millions of years. So as you can see, the wood has been completely replaced by rock or minerals. Different minerals create different colors. It's fascinating. I can't state it enough. Check out some pieces of petrified wood, or the process, or how it happens. The circumstances in which petrified wood are created have to be optimal. They have to be perfect. So a tree stump, such as this one, it needs to be completely covered in mud or clay, and it cannot have any contact with oxygen, otherwise the wood would decay. The wood would decay. The wood would... oh my god. That's the first thing. The second thing is it needs to take place over millions of years. This is how long it takes. So that area has to remain undisturbed basically for millions and millions of years. The wood cannot be exposed. And the third thing, it needs to have groundwater constantly moving through the wood under the clay. Imagine this is the clay line here, and this is an underground river or groundwater moving through. And that's how the mineralization takes place. Here's a beautiful cross-section of piece of petrified wood from Madagascar. There are lots of petrified forests in Africa, and this piece of wood is from a monkey puzzle tree. This is a monkey puzzle tree here. I have a weird feeling I've already talked about petrified wood on this channel. If I have already, I apologize. That's kind of weird. Anyway, back to Europe. I really went off course there. So, Geoguessr Gorge is also home to a very unique bird called the wall creeper, or the European wall creeper. This is the wall creeper here. It's doing some free soloing. I don't think this guy realizes he has wings. I think he thinks he's Alex Honnold or something. It kind of pisses me off, actually. You have a perfectly good set of wings and you're not even using them. No. They do fly sometimes, I assume. I actually know nothing about these birds. I just discovered them 5 minutes ago. So, sorry I gave you a bad rap, wall creeper. You do have a really nice red wing, though. And you win points for being weird, too. All right. That concludes Random Place Generator. I hope you found that interesting and learned something interesting, whether it was how petrified wood is made or why this weird, creepy bird exists. So maybe those earthquake, landslide, high altitude lakes are more common than I realized. So the game I have planned today is called The First Three. So the first three is the first three new maps that appear on Geoguessr. So I haven't refreshed it yet. When I refresh it, whatever new maps pop up in this section here, that's what we're going to be doing. This could be a flop, could be shit, doesn't matter. This is the game and we're trying it now. All right, so let's refresh. Okay, so this is what we've got. We've got Watch the Other Videos, Not This Poop by Phineas. We have Callum's Fave Map by Kitten Lover 143. And we have this one. I'm sorry I don't know the characters. Perhaps I'll translate. Created by Rata. Okay, it's called Fuso Town. When I refreshed, I lost the maps, and since then these new ones had been created. So we'll begin with Fuso Town. Let's have a look. This is Japan. I'm guessing. Could be wrong. All right, I reckon this is Fuso Town. It's okay. We like visiting new towns. I do prefer maps that aren't limited to one particular town or area, but that's okay. This is the game. And these houses are interesting. What is it with Japanese cars? Why do they look so square? Like, I know they look square because they look square, but why are they square? Maybe that's the question I wanted to ask. I guess that's just the type of car, right? Why do they choose that car? That's the question. That's the question I'm looking for. So this is a cool looking town, Fuso Town, on the tracks. I think we'll just pick somewhere on the train line. What do you think? No, that's near some water. That'll do. Damn. All right, that's okay. I still got 1,000 points. I reckon we'll be back in Fuso Town. Ooh, this is nice. I'm curious to know what crop they're growing there. Perhaps we'll find out shortly. Is that a crop? It sure ain't. So, what was it? Curiously. Doesn't say. Someone's personal crop. Another personal crop. What are you growing? Is this don't know. Got some sunflowers over here. It's nice. Little sign. All right, let's just make a guess. Somewhere in the middle of town again. Yeah, it's right over there again. All right, carrying on. Now we're in the middle of town, surely. Definitely here. All right, nice. Final round. I've had this location, surely. Let's check out this shop here. Oh, it's like a garage sale. Okay, I reckon we're going to be out here again. All right, not a great result. That's fine. Let's go out. Okay, now we're going to do Callum's Fave Map by Kitten Lover 143. All right, Callum is the only one that's played this map. Well, Kitten Lover is the only one that's played this map, but I assume that's Callum. All right, Callum's favorite map. Where are we? We're at a family reunion of some sort, maybe. Here we are at a dinosaur park. Forgot the name of this dinosaur. It's an example of armored dinosaur because it has body armor. Yeah, I don't know what one this is in particular. So, where are we? Hello, sir. Venice Beach. So we've got a Yank in the room and they're visiting some place. Where would Americans go on a holiday? To a dinosaur park place. This is probably Hawaii. I'm just going to guess Hawaii. All right, that will do. Oh my God. It was Australia. It's Australia. I was not expecting that at all. At the Adelaide Zoo? Man, I did better in Fuso Town. All right. So Callum is Australian? Okay. This is a Rivers store, is it not? You better not be fucking with me. If you're in Adelaide, you're staying in Australia. That's the deal, right? But I don't know. This looks like it could be a Rivers store or the what's that other store, the other cowboy store. They have one at what's that fucking place called in Melbourne Central. What's that shop called? Oh, it's gonna bug me so much. RM Williams. That's what it's called. RM fucking Williams. All right. That being said, I don't think we're in RM Williams. I think we're in, judging by that word out there, Roa. And also there's some more Spanish in here, I think. Is it Spanish? Hold on. I guess it's probably Spain. I think maybe Madrid. That's where I'm going to guess. Nice. Excellent. The close buildings reminded me of Madrid. All right, here we are at Callum's next fave spot. And without turning around, I'm just going to guess that this is in Australia based on the corrugated iron. Maybe not, though, based on those few animals. I have a feeling we're at a zoo again, though. Let's turn around. Ah, no, it's the Jane Goodall Chimpanzee Conservation Centre. How interesting. Jane Goodall is a legendary anthropologist and primatologist, I think is what it's called, who dedicated her life to studying chimpanzees. I think in Tanzania, but this doesn't look like Tanzania. I thought she was in the forest, but this looks a bit more, this looks more like, oh, I don't know, South Africa or something, but she was definitely in Tanzania. Oh, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean, just because she worked in Tanzania doesn't mean that the conservation centre, note the English spelling of centre too. Jane is an English woman after all. All right, so what are we going to do? Where will we pick? I'm probably going to, let me have a look at the map. Maybe we can just find it. Tanzania. It doesn't look like Tanzania, but that is where she worked. I suppose she did work in other places as well. Chimpanzees obviously live everywhere, but it just looks more like South Africa or a little bit hilly though. I have to say I'm enjoying this map, Kitten Lover 143. It's kind of like, I feel like it's South Africa, but it might be around the Pretoria area based on the landscape. But if it's Tanzania, I'll spew. I'm going to go with South Africa. I'll go somewhere just outside of Pretoria. All right. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? No. What the hell? God damn it. God damn it, Callum. Where did Jane Goodall work? Okay, it says she worked in the Gombe National Park, which is in Tanzania. So, vindicated. Pity I couldn't recognise an Australian landscape for the second time. To be fair, they do have gum trees in South Africa as well. All right, back to Callum's map. Kitten Lover's map. Fancy going from Adelaide to Madrid, then back to Adelaide again. Fancy that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this is in Covent Garden. I've walked through there before. That's the walkway through to Covent Garden. This is in London. All right. Let's go to Covent Garden. Where is it again? I was looking for Covent Garden on here the other day and I couldn't bloody find it for some reason. There's Covent Garden. All right. So Covent Garden. It's the courtyard gallery thingy. This map. Come on. Let's see if I can 5K this without moving. Oh yeah, look. The Royal Opera House Arcade. I just saw that. Did I not? Royal Opera House Arcade. Far out. Baltus. Starbucks. Fuck yeah. Alright, last round. Is it going to be Adelaide again? That's the pattern here. It's been Adelaide, Europe. Adelaide, UK. We back in Adelaide. I think we are. Are we? Oh god. I can't deal with you. I'm going to move around for this one because why not? Why not? We're riding on the back of a bus. It's looking like Australia, isn't it? There's the pavilion. I assume this is going to be South Australia. But where? Might go back from whence we came. Actually, there's a sign there. Not falling for this again, kitten lover. Okay, I see a koala, so we're definitely... Well, I'm not saying definitely because you never know. Well, that's an Australian mobile phone number, so winning a point there. What have we got here? It's not like Wilson's Prom or something, is it? It'll be South Australia for sure. The yellow-footed rock wallaby. Let's see if we can spot one. Closer. Adelaide fucking Zoo. Again. Someone's obsessed with the Adelaide Zoo. Who are you? It's the Monarto Zoo. I didn't know South Australia had this many zoos. What a bizarre map, but I loved it. Where was that other one? The Jane Goodall Chimpanzee Conservation Centre. Not in South Africa. Look, here's a conservation park. Mount Remarkable National Park. That is so funny. Mount Remarkable juxtaposes nicely with this Victorian mountain. Here we go. Mount Disappointment. Suki Lalas and so-called explorers, human hovel, dubbed this beautiful mountain Mount Disappointment. They were trekking from the Murray River and they'd hoped that when they reached this summit that they would see the ocean. They would see Port Phillip Bay, which is in Melbourne. When they got to the top, they couldn't see shit. And then they cracked the shits. They were so upset. These two were notorious for throwing tanties and getting annoyed with each other. And they were like, let's call it Mount Disappointment. That is the level we're dealing with here. Anyway, I digress again. Let's go back to Adelaide. To a much nicer named mountain, but let's face it, not the actual Aboriginal name. Anyway. Alright, let's just guess somewhere near Murray Bridge. Actually, is that? Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, sucked in, kitten lover. I didn't fall for your shit that time, did I? Great. I'm just going to look up this mountain. Okay, so I'm very unsurprised by this. Mount Remarkable was named after none other than the name fiend Edward John Eyre, who put his fucking name on so many goddamn things. This guy was absolutely taking the piss. Okay, so the Aboriginal name for Mount Remarkable is Wangiara, Ara meaning running water. So that is its actual name. Let me just show you how much shit this dude named. He's got the Eyre Highway, Lake Eyre, two peninsulas, the Eastern Eyre Peninsula and the Lower Eyre Peninsula. He also named the Gawler Ranges, Mount Hill, the Lake Eyre Basin. He named countless other things after himself, or just gave them really boring batshit names like Mount Hill, Mount Remarkable. Come on. If you're going to get some white land stealer to name things that are already named, get someone a little bit more fucking creative. Anyway, this guy, Edward Eyre, is a celebrated Australian explorer, but he is in fact a murderer. Are you surprised? He was later a governor in Jamaica and ordered a massacre of at least 1,500 people. So, and all of his exploration, I just did quotation marks. You won't see them. I'll have to add some graphics. All of his explorations were with a First Nations companion named Wiley. So basically, this man Wiley, this Aboriginal man Wiley, did all the exploring, let's face it. Because there is no way in hell that this man, Edward Eyre, crossed this landscape known as the Nullarbor without having someone do literally everything for him. All right, that was quite the tangent. I can't even remember what I'm doing anymore. Let's go back to Geoguessr. I haven't even viewed the results yet. That's right, we're playing this fun one. That's how we got to South Australia. All right, so this is the most amusing breakdown I've ever seen. Check it. Nailed 3 and really stuffed up with the Hawaii and the South Africa rounds. Never mind. I was going to play the third new map, but because I ranted for so long, I'm going to just call it quits here, and I'll see you for another ranting episode soon.